Good morning, class. So our today's topic is ecological succession, which is a very important topic in basic ecology studies. Okay. Now, what is succession? Succession means replacement of one species by another. Okay, that is, one species gets replaced by another by virtue of different type of factors are involved in this, which we are going to discuss just now. So replacement of one species by another is known as ecological succession. So whenever that replacement takes place, for that replacement to take place, the prime requirement will be some type of disturbance. There has to be some form of disturbance has to be there. So disturbance, and after any disturbance there has to be succession. This is the natural course of you can say how the nature flourishes and progresses. Whenever there is a disturbance, there has to be a succession. And again, succession, again, not a very continuous process, not a very, you can say, permanent process. There again will be some form of disturbance. So disturbance and succession are two common causes of change in any type of community, because change, you can say, is a course of nature. Okay, so how that change is brought about? By virtue of disturbance and by virtue of succession. So that is why change and succession are two common causes of community structure, also which give we call it as community dynamics. They provide dynamicity to the community, because community cannot remain static for long. Community remaining static for long means the death of that particular community. So disturbance and succession has to progress. Now, what is disturbance? Disturbance can be of any type of some event, okay, which disrupts the activities, the structural components, the functional aspects of any ecosystem, community, population, okay, which has the ability to change the resources. That is known as disturbance. It can be internal disturbance, it can be external disturbance. So any relative discrete event in time that disrupts ecosystem, community or population structure and changes resources, substrate availability or the physical environment, we call it as a disturbance. Disturbance can be natural also, and disturbance can be man-made also. Okay, natural disturbance also takes place by virtue of different type, like meteorite fallout has occurred somewhere, okay, and naturally some landscape has been destroyed by some, let's say, pathogen or pest-based diseases. That is, natural disturbance has occurred. But nowadays accelerated form of disturbance is there, that is a man-made disturbance, that is more prevalent nowadays. With the faulty development activities which we have, approaches which we have the later form of more it is prevalent. Now, so what is succession? Succession is a repeatable change in community composition through time following a disturbance. Means after every disturbance there will be succession. That is the course of nature. Okay, and it is not that succession is just a very shortcut process. It takes time. Through time, it takes a considerable degree of time for succession to start, for succession to initiate, succession to proceed, succession to finally reach its final outcome. So basically we have two types of succession, primary succession and secondary succession. What is primary succession? Prime, first, starting from bare rock, bare substratum, in which before there was no other kind of vegetation was growing. So succession is occurring in that area for the very first time. We call it as primary succession. So succession generally which we get after volcanic eruption, after glacier receding, okay, that type of succession is known as primary succession. And the other type of succession is known as secondary succession. Secondary succession means already there was some vegetation was there, some growth was there, but that growth has been removed now. Again, it can have natural causes, there can be man-made causes, that why that vegetation was wiped out from that particular area, but the soil and seed bank is there. And for example, we have abandoned agricultural fields are there. After fire, generally we find secondary succession takes place. So this type of succession is known as second in line. It falls second in line. It is known as secondary succession. Now succession proceeds with three kinds of models which we have for succession: facilitation model, inhibition model of succession and the tolerance model of succession. That is, either of these three will work in any area, that how the first species will come, how they will germinate, how they will perish, and how they will give room to other species to flourish. That is given in these three types of models of succession. Now, facilitation. The word facilitate means to help, to assist. Okay, means whatever the first species which we come in succession, we call them as pioneer species, and the species which follow later on, they are known as serial stages or serial species. So in the facilitation model of succession, the pioneer species, they will facilitate the other species in that area. Means they will change the physical conditions, the soil conditions, and the microclimatic conditions of that area to such a degree that it will facilitate the other species which will come on later on to grow. So they will means facilitate. Just like you can example means suppose you are seniors and you are helping your juniors in your academics. So you are helping them, you are facilitating them. Okay, so that goes. This model goes through facilitation principle or through the principles of assistance. The second one is inhibition, just the opposite of the first, inhibiting. Inhibition model of succession. So inhibition model of succession means that the pioneer species which will come and they will inhibit the other species which are coming. They will not help, they will not ameliorate the soil conditions, they will not ameliorate the microclimatic conditions, they will not change the conditions so that they may facilitate the other species which will come on the later stages to come and grow. So that this is known as the inhibition model of succession. The species will come and they will survive as per their own, you can say, caliber. Okay. And the third model is known as a tolerance model. Tolerance model means neither they are assisting nor they are inhibiting, just they are working as per their own adaptations power. They are tolerating each other, okay, and growing as per their own capacity. So this type of model is known as the tolerance model of succession. Now, what is the overall process of ecological succession? How the succession starts and how the succession proceeds and how the succession reaches the final stages, which we call as the climax stage. First is the availability of bare area. We should have a bare area or the bare substratum where the species will come and grow. How we get this bare area? Again, to get the bare area, either we can have natural causes can be there, man-made causes can be there, that how we got that area is bare. Okay, and depending upon that bare area, whether it was formerly also it was bare or it was previously some vegetation was growing, either primary succession will occur in that area or secondary succession will occur in that area. Okay, now once we get this bare area, what the species will do? Species are going to migrate to this area. Okay, the species, they are going to migrate to that bare area for their growth, for their establishment. Now how will they migrate? How these species are going to migrate? They are going to migrate by different forms of means of dispersal. Whatever their seeds have dispersal mechanisms, whether they are carried by wind or by water or by animals or by bird and animal droppings. Okay, so they will migrate to that particular area. They will try to establish themselves, because ultimately ecology is the science of survival. Okay, how any species is able to survive in the extremes, that is what ecology is all about. Adaptations and survival of the fittest. Okay, so they are going to migrate. Then after migration, it is not that all the species who will migrate, they will come to that area. Some may be scattered here and there also, some may be they will die also, they will get killed also, but whoever will be the lucky ones, they will come to that area. And then the third process, they will try to establish themselves in that area. They will try to establish themselves in the given soil conditions, in the given climatic conditions, in the given what type of biotic interferences in that area, there is disturbance in that area, they will encounter. They will try to establish themselves. Temperature conditions, water conditions, moisture conditions, okay, all the different type of factors, climatic factors, edaphic factors. So they will just going to survive in those conditions. If they are able to survive, well and good. Otherwise they will be thrown out of the system, because nature has no mercy. The word mercy is not found in nature. Okay, if they are going to survive, very good. Otherwise they will be thrown out of the system. Now whoever, again the lucky ones, the mighty ones who are able to survive, they will go for the next level, that is known as the competition. Now a very severe competition will occur, because here we are talking of ecological succession, we are talking of the natural succession, we are talking of nature. So it is not as easy as your academic competition. Okay, it will be very severe, because both the intraspecific competition will be there as well as interspecific competition will be there. Now what is the difference between the intraspecific and interspecific competition? Intraspecific competition means, intra means among the members of the same species. Okay, like your academic competition is intra. Among the members of the same species, that is intraspecific competition. Interspecific means like interdepartmental. Interspecific, between different type of species, that is known as interspecific competition. So different type of competition will be there, very fierce competition will be there. Okay, and again whoever is able to reach the next stage, that is the reaction stage. Reaction stage is the result stage, where the results will be clear, which one is the which of these species are emerging as the dominant species, the most dominant ones, the recessive ones, the suppressed ones, and some may also be dead and diseased ones. The diseased ones, more or less, they will be thrown out of the system sooner or later. Okay, and finally the succession process comes to the final stage, that is the climax stage, where it will be clear that what is the type of species which has emerged as a winner, the most dominant species in that area, the climax species of that area. It is not that only one type of species is present in an area, we get other species also. So those species are living in association with the dominant species, climax species, in association, in some degree of friendliness is there between those species. Okay, to us maybe some competition is still going on, but to us it will not be visible for quite a couple of years, when the things will be out finally. Okay, but competition is a course of nature, always some or the other competition is going just right outside your window. And so that is known as climax stage. And various ecologists have given various theories of this, how the species approach the climax stage. Okay, some say that only the biotic factors are responsible. Some ecologists say that no, only the climate, temperature factors or climatic factors are responsible. Some say no, it is only the edaphic factors which are responsible for the outcome of the climax species. But now we know that it is the integration of all these different kinds of factors which will determine which species will be the dominant in that area, which species will be the climax species of that particular area. Okay, so this is how the process goes. And of course, because it's succession process, it's a natural process, time taking process, it may take many years for the process to finally reach its outcome. Okay, and maybe sometimes because of lot of human intervention is there nowadays, so maybe some till establishment stages they are reached, and then we just cut off these trees wherever the succession was occurring. So again the succession has to take from the first stage. Okay. So these are the different characters. You can see that what are the characters and of which the plants get in the early succession stages, and how you can you'll find that they are different from the late succession stages. Early succession means young plants, late succession means some matured trees. Okay, matured old trees are there, and early succession here means the very young plants. So like for example, we can take some of the characters here. Let's talk of the respiration rate. Respiration rate will be high in the early succession stages, but will be low in the late succession stages. Then the number of seeds will be many in the early succession stages, it will be few in the late succession stages. Then the seed viability will be long in the early succession stages, it will be short in the late succession stages. Okay. Then the growth rate will be rapid in the early succession stages, and it will be slow in the late succession stages. So these are some of the characters, you can say, physiological and life history characters which the plants will show in early. It is just like young versus mature or young versus old. Okay, how different type of characters they will vary when the plant are in early succession and when the plants have reached the late succession and are going towards stability. finally they are going towards the stability. Okay, and as I told you that if there are no more disturbances, then the community will reach a stable state, which is known as the climax community. Okay, and which is also the equilibrium state. To us it appears equilibrium, although the things are not in equilibrium, quite equilibrium in nature, but yes, to us it is not that a tree standing outside your window and it is just standing like this. Lot of interactions and lot of, you can say, functions are going on in that tree. So but something always provides a disturbance. That is again the law of nature. Disturbance will be there, and so this keeps the community out of equilibrium. Okay, and this keeps the community in a dynamic position. So this is what ecological succession is all about. So I am giving you an activity, and your activity for today is that you will give an account of different models of succession. Okay, like the 3 models we talked: the facilitation model, inhibition model, and the tolerance model. They are very important from your exam point of view also. So just write a note on these different type of models of succession. Okay, so that's all for today, students. Thank you.